Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, AI, ladies and gentlemen, still in play. Ownership, not so much. Assets, you're going to need to buy them. Money, mandatory. Open mic night, financial planning is here in the house. Thank you so much for being here on this SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Stop struggling now, gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you so much for being here. There is so much happening across the land, especially with artificial intelligence. Data centers are being voted away because people understand water gone. Toxic chemicals in your dirt, in your ground, in your soil stays. And did I mention your body needs water to sustain itself? They're drying up the Rio Grande. I'm just saying, this is not a good thing. And it's all for what? Now, once again, AI, artificial intelligence, in case you're new, haven't heard of it, which is shocking. But if you haven't, I suggest you understand what is happening. Now, make sure you smash the like button, share the videos so the YouTube gods and social media gods know that you're in the house, no matter where you're watching from. That would be greatly appreciated. Stock steady today. Nothing really happening. Just normal business as usual in the rich guy's playground. Yes, stocks is an asset that you can buy. You own corporations that will continue to rise in value, especially the top 20, 25 of the stocks on the stock market. They're special. They get help. So, those of you watching this, you may not need help, but you know what I'm going to do? We're going to do open mic night tonight. That's right, we haven't done it for a long time. So, stay tuned if you'd like to call in, or if you don't want to be on the screen and want to call in, just turn off your video. Then we can just hear audio. But once again, it's open mic night of all nights. It's Monday night. It's August 10th, 2025. Haven't had open mic night in almost 2 or 3 years. But if somebody wants to come in and join, I'll put a link in about 5 to 10 minutes because we have a lot to talk about. Artificial intelligence. When it comes to using it for, let's call it the subject at hand, music, or use it for anything, artwork, putting in prompts, telling it to make it look like something. All of that cannot be copywritten, cannot have ownership because it was not human made. All right, let's just get things straight. I don't know what's going to happen with everything going through the court system, but so far, with regard to music, in Germany, Germany just said flat out pretty much it's not done by human hands, even though it's prompts and things. That's not human hands. You're not in the studio making things happen with actual instruments or anything. So they pretty much said, no go, soon no. Not going to happen for you. And everybody else not going to happen. Plus, you're stealing other people's work. Their music work was used to train the artificial intelligence. And so therefore it has elements of those people that you trained, and when they put in thousands of different songs by different artists, and a person like me who can't play an instrument currently, I can say make it like whichever your favorite artist is, music like, and then describe a little bit of their music and give me a beat. Well, obviously, it can take a little bit of snippets here and there from the original works of the artist, but there's all many different layers that it may not even sound like it, but it's still copyright. You're using somebody else's work. You make up your own, put it in the system. Maybe that's a different story, but they're not going that route. They're going the route of artificial intelligence. Metadata is where I think they go one last step. The other step that they're going to probably end up doing, several. They have fingerprinting. They're going to have a AI watermark. So there's going to be special things that the metadata and the software is going to imprint in the background so people will know whether it's AI or not. And some people still believe that if you steal something from somebody else, like China and other countries, then it's okay. Since you manufactured it, you made it available to the public, we can steal it. I am not one of those fans. I believe people should get paid for their work. And if you steal something, or shall I say, want to use something from somebody else, you should contact them and say, hey, can I use this? And since every night's a story night for the rest of this time, usually it was Friday night, I'll give you a perfect example for this AI, artificial intelligence. I had a person that's in the music business back in the day, Miss Sassy Carter, and she sent me over demos. She's already had a Universal. She had a hit long time ago. But the thing is, she sent me this song that had the art of noise, was the clearly their music in the background. And so we were talking about copyrights and, what do you think and this, that, and the other. And I said, you can't use this badass intro. She goes, why? Because I used the art of noise. I said, exactly. You didn't. It's directly them. We got to get clearance. Got to get clearance on this because this is badass. The intro. In fact, I should play the intro one of these days. It's pretty cool. But the point is, so I call up Art of Noise Management. I call up. I can't remember who it was exactly, and I basically was telling them, hey, I'm going to send you over this track. I want to see if you're going to give us clearance on it. And so send it over. He says, send it over. I sent it over. And I called him back and I said, hey, so what do you think? He says, no. I said, what? It was literally something that was it wasn't even words really, other than, well, I shouldn't say words. It was like a word for intro. Nothing derogatory, nothing. In fact, it was cool. It was just like 3 words or something for like a 15-second or less intro. He says no. And he wouldn't even give me an explanation. He just says no. And I was like, this is unreal. So since they said no, she couldn't release that intro on the album, just so you understand. That now fast forward 25, 30 years or 25 years. Now all of a sudden, I could take that same intro, put in that in Suno, tell it to do whatever, or any other AI generation music platform, and tell it to do whatever based on this song. It comes out, and there are still some people that believe that I should not have to pay a license. I should not have to pay a sync if I run it to a music video. I shouldn't have to do anything because it was an intro. So that means it could be the intro for a music video. So people believe that I could just grab it, use it, spit it in AI, I own it, or whatever. That's yet to be determined, but I believe, like I said before, ownership matters. So therefore, I don't think they're going to allow anybody with AI to actually own it because I stole it. And AI generation, you can't own anyhow currently. So that means if I make something with AI, anybody else can copy it and they don't have to pay you. And in fact, you might even think about right now, they were in pools like Phoenix Flexin, and we have Tyga, I think his name is, right? He made AI. They're in the artist pool or label pools, And so is it right that they should get part of the money that artists that actually use real instruments and things of this nature get some of that money? And I feel that's not appropriate because you can produce 20, 30 songs in a day with AI. So that dilutes the pool for artists who don't use AI. So we'll just keep it AI, non AI. So I think for me, simple solution should have been if you're doing AI music, then just put it in the AI music category. You guys can have your own little pool over there. That's the way I look at it. Whatever, however it comes down, it'll come down. But all I'm saying is artists should be leery of releasing music under the present format because somebody can steal your song, put it in AI, then act like it's theirs. Just saying, even though it's copywritten. So you got to be very careful what you're going to release and put out there these days. And then you put it out 6 months later, then you get a copyright strike. And somebody else used some of your stuff. That is crazy work right there. So again, artificial intelligence and ownership are two different things because you can't own artificial intelligence. So when people are out here making these videos, they may be able to own the underlying voice to it, but the video itself made by AI, anybody can take that, cut out the audio, take the video, and put in new audio, and it's not yours, so you can't get paid off of anything. So some of you who deal with YouTube, you may notice that if you ever get a copyright with music, they divert it. So they'll say, hey, somebody says it's copywritten, that you shouldn't use it. So all the money, advertising money, gets diverted into a pool until somebody turns in the proper documentation that shows they own it. So then they release it to the person that's the rightful owner. That to me seems like a logical step. But AI is a different animal because you can produce so much in an hour. It's crazy. So I think they have to be more stringent, and they are going to be more stringent. Watermark, fingerprinting. I think they're going to even do AI metadata and make people put that in, and other things as well, and flat out say it is or isn't. And then they have AI detection tools already, so it's not like you're going to get away with it because that's lots of money and you're taking from people's works. Now you put in your own works, mix it up, and you want put it out, it's still AI generated. That means anybody can copy it. Just saying. All right. Now, since we're talking about ownership here, ladies and gentlemen, that's what this is all about because ownership is going to matter. You have 1 year, 4 months to go. What do I mean by that? That's December 31st, 2027. I need you to own intellectual properties. I need you to own whatever you're doing. You're thinking about making a book, then you need to make sure you own the copyright, the publishing of that book. You got to make sure if somebody calls you up and says, hey, I want to make a movie based on your book, you want to make sure you are the sole person that says yes or no. That's what you want to do. If you're in the music business, you're publishing, your masters and all of that, you want your sync licenses so it can be played in the music elevator. Let's get real. You get checks. Commercials, you get checks. Do you want your sync licensing or not? So you need to make sure if you're going to be an independent, you got to own all of your stuff. It's hard to do that because you have so many people in the process oftentimes, but it's still ownership. You want to sit there, write a book. Then you say, hey, I'm going to put it on Audible. Then you need to make sure you have the rights for that Audible that can be listened to over and over, Audible on demand, over and over on Amazon, iTunes, or any other platform. You want to make sure you get a check. And I might add, it's passive. So that means while I'm sleeping. That's how you can do it too. So that's where we go. Just so you understand, now is the time to press. Because if you go out here and do this willy nilly old school stuff, see, this is starting to get a little bit more business. Life is a business. Remember that CEO of my life that I used to tell you guys about? That's one of the t shirts at SSN Nation here. CEO of my life. It's starting to be that way. You are under a corporation. That's the United States. That's why you have a subsidiary number, aka your social security number. They own you. Don't you understand? Just like every other country, when you make money outside of the country, what do they say? Oh, you owe us money. You're a citizen of our country. You got to cut us a check. You got to let us know that you have businesses abroad. So that way we can make sure we get a check. If you have businesses abroad and you're doing business in the United States, that means you're getting money from United States citizens. Hey, 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 wait a minute. I need to see you form a foreign corporation somewhere in America. That's what we need, some more money from you. We need that. It's not good enough that you're going to give us our split. You need to get off from offshore. You need to come over here and get an LLC or a corporation somewhere in America because you're getting money from our citizens inside of America. Are you guys understanding this? A lot of countries have the same rule. Just saying. Isn't it wild that you can be born somewhere and you are under financial taxation for life to the country that you had no choice of being born in? And your kids and your great grandkids and great great grandkids will be subject to this as well if they're citizens of the same country. So, who's going to pay the taxes, ladies and gentlemen? That is why you need ownership. Because ownership makes it a lot easier to pay less taxes. Just saying. There's so many caveats. I'm not a financial planner. Go check out one. Check out your favorite CPA, financial planning, financial advisors, whoever you need to talk to. I'm just giving you little tea leaves, some breadcrumbs to go check out. By the way, some of you are watching right now. You're going to need help because 8 out of 10 people are living paycheck to paycheck during the month. You know what that means. That's bad news. So make sure, no matter what you do, you go check out findhelp.org. Down below in the description box, I have that there. You can check that out. Brian P., Mr. Dividend, has arrived. He's in the house. That's right, Mr. Dividend. That's passive income. That's the stock market. That's ownership. And welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Stop struggling now, gear. Where's the emerging millionaires at? Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, he's in the house. I fooled you, ladies and gentlemen. Now, happy day, Eric starts his tagline. I hope all is well with you and your family. Happy day, SSN. Smash that like button. And once again, welcome to the SSN Nation, Brian P., Mr. Dividend. And no, I have not checked out any new emails. I know you sent me some the other day, but it's open night, Mike, open mic night. And before I forget, findhelp.org is one thing. Put in your zip code, you'll find a lot of things. But Matthew Lesko, the late night guy who had the question marks all over his suits, now he has silver locks of hair spiked. He came up with Lesko loves AI.com/business. For all of you business owners, that's your ownership. You want some help? How about free help, guidance to start a business? How about funding? How about counseling? How to start a corporation, how to get an LLC, how to get government contracts, how to get city, state contracts. Yes, put in that zip code on LescoLovesAI.com/business down below in the description box. It's going to be there as well. So don't get upset if people get ahead because they went to where they could get free help. That's right. That can move your timeline, that can speed it up. Talking to the right people, getting that streamlined help. So, once again, post retirement travel and other investors in the house, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he brings his tagline along with that icon next to his name, which I humbly appreciate. That means he's a member of the channel, ladies and gentlemen, on YouTube. So if you'd like to become a member of the channel, please do so. He brings his tagline as he's another investor. He brings it and it says, "Hello all, let's do this." That's what we do. We try to help you, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Now, I have an announcement to make since he's here and he's a real estate guy as well. It looks like I'm trying to get rid of my Larimar City and Resort 2-bedroom, 2-bath, unobstructed ocean views high on a cliff in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. I have somebody that is taking over payments. We're sitting here right now getting ready to get it done. But get this, as with everything in the DR, it's wild. I sent them over my receipt for $2,000 last week. And then again last week after they said they didn't see it. Then after they said they found it and saw it, because I sent it twice. Now they said, "Oh, but please send us a copy of the bank account." I said, "Are you serious? What part are you not getting? I did not wire you money. I paid in person. That's why I have a receipt in person. I didn't wire it." So now they don't want to give me my $2,000 credit. So of course the person that's buying it is like, "Hold up." Because you do understand if they take the 2,000 off and the guy would give me the 2,000, that means he has to pay another 2,000 on the exit when he has to officially on delivery buy it. So that means 4,000 to the other person. So clearly that puts a little bog or clog in the machine. DR is good for this. This is what they do. Like I always said, these guys always pocket watching. They got to make sure that you don't get what you deserve over there. I had to tell somebody else this when they said, "Eric, what's going on?" I said, "Hey, man, this is why I had to stop talking about these cats after the SSN Lifestyle Punta Cana Music Festival, because there was so much IOUs, it was ridiculous." I said, "So this is what you guys are over here doing. You don't want no money to leave the island. And if I'm going to make some money, you want to make sure you get a piece of the money, like we're in a 360 deal for musicians." I'm like, dudes, man, I can't play with you guys no more. And you're screwing over some friends of mine, other people who are promoting and over there trying to help. When they're owed money, you're not even giving them any money. And when they bitch about it, you're trying to act like, "Oh, you can go get the F out of here" stuff. Well, that's how it goes, ladies and gentlemen. So who knew that there would be a problem? I was like, I already know there's going to be a problem. Sure enough, we can't find our, we even though we have a receipt stamped, because in DR you have to stamp receipts. In other words, you can't send a copy. So let me give you an idea. So for my SRL, here's my tax ID number, right? See? All right. So this only, the color is not black. It has to be blue, because that's an official. If it's black, then it could be a copy. So it can only be blue. So of course, since I was there in person, my receipts are blue. So therefore, they're trying to claim, oh, we need a receipt. I'm like, what is wrong with you people? This is what I'm saying. Even though they know it's a lie, they just don't want to give me $2 grand credit. Seriously? Again, this is Larimar City. Again, when people act like that, you have to question. You have to look sideways. Why are you sweating me over 2K? Why are you? What are you over here doing? Knowing full well you probably owe me another three. I just can't find the receipt yet. Knowing full well that I brought millions of dollars worth of business to your door, uncompensated, nor did I care at the time. So that's fine. But you guys are tripping. They're tripping. But see, this is the deal. This is what I couldn't deal with after all the stuff when I stayed there and found out how people act. I was like, okay, somebody gonna get hurt over here. And it won't be me. But I might be in jail for the rest of my life over there, though, messing with these clowns. All right. Yep. Is it only the 2K? Yeah, man. If you wanted to upload, just take one of the team and send them another 2K, but this time do it via wire. Just my opinion. No. Remember, I'm cashing out. I'm not sending them another dime. Nobody is. So the person buying, they're not going to give them 2K extra, or to them, 4K extra, because as of right now, they say I owe 14,992. So he's not going to give me 17. So the other deal fell through. So he's not going to give me my money. So he would have to him, he's paying an extra two. Then when he gets ready to cash out, they're 2G short. So he can't pay me an extra two. He's going to be paying an extra four. And I'm not paying it. You can forget that. That's crazy. Send them another 2K, but this time do it via wire. Just my opinion. No, I'm not. No. No. I'm not. No. Not going to happen. There's no point. No point. I have the receipt. It says payment receipt. Blue mark mean the only way you can get it is they stamped it in person. So they're acting like, send us a wire. I'm like, if I sent you a wire, I wouldn't have a payment receipt with the stamp on it. What the hell are you talking about right now? Crazy, crazy stuff. But see, this is the tricks they do over there in the DR. Just saying. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is why ownership matters. I don't own the project. I don't own any of the things. If I would have built over there, oh my God, it's funny how things work out. If I would have built over there, I would have owned the land, but I would not own the processes. So what do I mean by that? Here's the thing. When you own something, do you own the process? So when I go there, I have to buy the land. Then, since I buy the land, I have to wait on the transfer of title, which could be 9 months to a year. And if the title is like the family titles that they transfer to each other and they have this clouded title, then it takes minimum a year and a half to get clear title. That's a minimum. It could take 2 years. So all these guys that are developers, they're over there making deals where they'd say, okay, I'm going to give you whatever, $10,000 down. I'll pay you X amount a month for your land. Meanwhile, they give the rights that you can build on the land, do whatever on the land. But the problem is when they finish, the only time that, well, they could do two things. Along the way, they could actually get title transferred to them. But see, then you're going to pay for title to transfer it, knowing that now when you deliver, and let's just say you have a 10-story built, 5-story building, each unit has to be titled separately. So you got to run another through title and deeding process in DR. So that's minimum for each unit on the 5-story building is separate. So each one of those have to be titled separately. And so is it going to take 1 year? Is it going to take a year and a half? Is it going to take 2 years? Who knows? But that's where the problem comes in. So those processes you don't own, now you're at the mercy of their process. So when somebody says, I'm going to build something in 3 years, there's no way, because only after they deliver and finish and put meters for water, electricity, and all that, then you can title the whole building. So that means 1 year minimum, 1.5 to 2 years, probably maximum. So even though deliveries in 3 years, nothing's going to be done for a year, year and a half, unless you take you take delivery early, saying I don't care about a deed, I'll live here. That's wild. I'm questioning how you're going to get insurance, but okay. But the point is, that is crazy. People do it. But that's the question. Ownership. Do you own all the processes? Since you don't own the processes, that's what hurts you in this case. So that's why all projects are going to be late. That's why 99.9% of them are late. Because their delivery dates, they're not going deliveries 5 years from now, which would be more of the real timeline. They're going 3 years, 3.5 years, knowing it might take 2 years, 2.5, just to get the permits and all that together. 2.5 years just to get started. So there's no way anybody should be talking about we're going to have delivery in 36 months, in my opinion. It should be more like 60 months. But see, if you do 60 months, the ownership part kicks in, because now you don't get paid in full for 5 years. That's the kicker. That's why they tell everybody, oh, 26 months, 24 months, 30 months, 36 months, because that means you're going to be locked in at a higher payment than if it was 60 months. So that's the kicker. So the process is your ownership matters. That's the whole key. You can start a business, but now who is your supply chain? Just like what happened during the pandemic. You don't own the supply chain. You have to get things from overseas. Ships aren't coming. Your stuff is sitting overseas. You can't do business. You understand? So here's the thing with ownership. You might as well just add this next word. Get your pen, pad, and papers down. Your next word should be ecosystem. That's what I call it. Other people call it something else. I call it ecosystem. So in other words, if I'll use an example. When the tariffs were getting ready to come for China, Apple has their phones made in China. Because Apple has their own planes, what did they do? They said, no problem. We'll circumvent the supply chain where we're going to have to pay tariffs in about another month. What we're going to go do is we're going to fly a plane over, pick up all of our stuff that you guys have manufactured and whatever else in the warehouses over here, and we're going to fly it back to the United States. See, ownership of planes mattered. Do you understand? Nobody can stop their ecosystem, even if it is manufactured in another country. They said, fine. You want to add 25% onto a $1,500 cell phone? Make it 2Gs? Well, let's go get a few thousand pieces of our stuff that we don't have to charge our citizens 2Gs, because it doesn't matter. We're paying it no matter what. So why don't we just start charging them $1,700, $1,800 right now? That's what they did. Plus the 15 still, but literally. So the cost of fuel over and back, peanuts compared to the profits they're making. So they decide to fly over their inventory that was already ready, sitting over there. That's what I'm saying. Ownership matters. You want to own the boats? Fine. Do you want to own the manufacturing facility? Fine. It doesn't make much sense, but if the manufacturing facility goes out of business or has a problem, then you have a problem. So your ecosystem is effed up. It's that simple. So just like a perfect example that's coming up now in the DR. So I'll just keep it in the DR frame since that's what we're talking about. Uh, if we talked about this on Friday, if you're charging me a 25% property management fee, and then the country, which is what DR is doing, puts in a 15% withholding tax by property managers, not by individuals, which is the key thing. If we were allowed to rent individually, then this wouldn't even come into play. But if you use a property management company, the property management company by law is supposed to withhold 15% of gross, not net, gross. So that means the 15% you are overpaying because after you pay, get rid of your expenses, you would owe less than 15% gross. You would owe 15% on net. So that means you're going to have a tax credit the following year because you overpaid. Now, some would say that's not bad, but people like me are saying this does me no good. You already 40% of money is gone off of gross, not off of net, off of gross, which is that's I mean, put it in simple terms. If you made $10,000 during the month, you're already down to 6,000 because you got 40% off gross. So then you start doing other things like your HOAs and your insurance, and if you have a mortgage, and if you have water, sewer, garbage, electricity. Uh, Next thing you know, you probably have to pay another 1,000 at least. So you're down to 5 G's. So you're at 50%. Um, if you bought something that gets you 10 G's a month, uh, that'd be awfully nice, but it's probably gonna cost. It would have cost you 300 G's, 400 G's. So uh, this is not going to be good. Some people are going to be doing single digits. Let's just put it that way. Because if you have a mortgage, you're going to be screwed. 15, 40% and a mortgage. You remember your mortgage, you already gave up 30% generally. And now they let you go to 35%, 40%. Can you imagine 75% of of your cost is already built in? You you get $10,000, but 75% is gone. You get 25%, $2,500, and then you still got to pay your bills there. Water, sewer, electricity, gas if you use it, just for starters. Insurance, that could easily be $200, $300, $500 a month. So now you're almost paying people to stay there, is the problem if you have a loan. So again, ownership ecosystem. An ecosystem is better. I forgot the 3% for Airbnb. I forgot the OTAs, 5% or 10%. I forgot the 2% for charge cards. I mean, like, this is insane. All that adds up. So you're giving up a lot of money, 50% basically, from the get, and then even more potentially. So if you're renting at a high clip and your rental is at a high clip, let's say 350, 450 a night, and you bought the thing for 300,000, then it's a win-win, and you have 70% occupancy. Oh, you'll love life. You're like, this is golden. If it's 80 or 90, you're like, oh, this is easy. But even if you make an 80 or 90, if somebody walked in and said, I get a quarter, I get 40% of your money, even then you're going to be like, what? Wait, huh? What do you mean? You get 36,000? What do you mean you're cutting me a check for $64,000? out of 90 some G's. What are you talking about right now? Have you lost your mind? That's not sustainable for any business, just so you guys understand. So you got to own the ecosystem. The ecosystem and why Airbnb was popular is because you had things like Airbnb was 3%. You had things like VRBO. You could say, oh, I'll pay $100 annually and no fees taken out. So I prepaid 100. Now I'm giving you guys ages. This is back when VRBO first started, and I contacted them or they contacted me. That was the deal that I had. I also had a deal with VRBO where they came to me and said, "Hey, you know what? You don't have to pay anymore." Because I had so many properties, the guy goes, "Hey, hold on." VRBO says, "You don't have to pay anymore. We'll we'll let the people pay." And with Airbnb and VRBO, can you guys imagine this? I had this deal. If a person pays for your rental today, I had money in my account tomorrow. I was getting paid before people arrived, even if it was 7, 8 months, a year from now. Do you know what? You don't know what that is pretty serious. 3%, that's it. So charging somebody $2,500, paying 3%, and they're cutting you a check the next day, that was revolutionary. That actually skyrocketed everything because relative to what I was doing, now I had an ecosystem where all I had to do was make sure I had the right place, right choices, right images that people would see, right description, and boom, people started booking. Boom, 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 boom. And it didn't matter. Imagine having 20, 30, 40, 50 reservations within the next, let's say, 5 months. All 50 reservations you've already gotten your money for because no refund was built into the equation. How crazy was that? So, needless to say, it went like this on my curve because I was like, this is crazy. They're paying me right now. People don't arrive for another year, another 8 months, another 6 months, another 2 months. I'm getting checks anytime anybody makes a reservation. And if you get a reservation every day, it's not hard to figure out what happens at 3%, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get real. All right? Let's get real. You get to make a lot of money. All right? Tax return says millions. All right? Now, don't get it twisted. It's not a million a year. Don't get crazy. No, over every 3 years. So average was around 300 and some odd thousand. Somewhere like that. You can find the Airbnb video that I made where I actually showed my receipts, so to speak. That was the last time I showed receipts. But that was because of it at the time. So I think those were 2016, 2017, something like that. And that's why I didn't have to book that many units. But I'll tell you what, my average was one booking a day. So I had 365 bookings, just so you guys understand. All right. Plus. So one booking a day. And if you don't have to make that much. Some of these I would make $200 because remember, some people are staying like 4 nights, 5 nights, 3 nights, 2 nights. So some of these I can make $150. But the point is, you start thinking, how much is $200 every day? Simple. 200 times 30, 60,000. But my average prices aren't that because I always had things for the ecosystem was set up for the highest times. Christmas time, Thanksgiving time, all holidays. So you get to charge higher prices by 20 to 30%. So that was the only bookings I would get. So my average is higher than normal. So I could be at 400 per day on average. So now you're understanding when you start saying 30 days, that's 12 G's a month. Do you understand? Some months it's 15. So that's the ecosystem because I had help, but it's still an ecosystem. And messing up that supply chain, which is what they did later, like it only lasted a year to 2 years. And so when they did that, I didn't own the supply chain. They did. So when they stopped the program, all of a sudden now, all this upfront money that I got for every booking every day, it goes away. So now there's no 400, 500 a day coming in. It's all of a sudden, oh, wait, the next person reservation's not for a week from now. The next person's reservation is because we have 3 reservations in Scottsdale for the waste management. Everybody's checking in on Thursday. So now I got 3 reservations this week, but that's not in for a while down the road, but that's 3, not just 1. Because remember, I have places all over. So I can have 3, 4, 5, 6 reservations in a day. So the average, though, which I showed, I think, back then too, if you find the Airbnb one, it showed I was over, I think I was at 380 days a year. Something of that nature. I had 380 reservations. That's more than 365. So that was more than 1 a day. Just so you guys understand, because I was able to stack. But since I owned the first part of the ecosystem, they owned the second, but it wasn't really a true ecosystem because I didn't own one of those platforms. I needed to own one of those platforms. Then nobody could stop me. But it was brand new. It was very hard, not brand new in 2016, 2015, 2017, but there was no way I was going to replicate that. So anyhow, all right, here we are. We got somebody else in the house. Best promotion. EV Place is here. Another investor's in the house. Another go-getter. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he brings his tagline this evening. Good evening, SSN family. I hope you are all doing well. And he has that icon next to his name, which I humbly appreciate. And I thank you so much for being in the house. Now, since I've been on here for so long, talking about stories and ownership, I forgot about this. Mic night, open mic night. Anybody want to come on the mic night tonight? Let me see. Here we go. I got the console here. Go to YouTube, or you could be on Twitch. You can be on Facebook. You can call up, and you don't have to show your face. Just turn the camera off. I put it in the comments section so you can come and join the party. All right. So that's how it's going to go. I got some other things I'm dealing with right now. Just a second. I got to go check something real quick. Oh, I got something for you. I found something because I'm looking for a receipt. So I decided, you know what? Let me go look on my computer for a few things. I mean, it's not really this computer, some disk drives. And I found a video. That's right. I found a video about landauction.com. Hit you guys up. I found a land auction. That's right. In case you don't know what that is, landauction.com is what I've talked about before. You can go to discount lots. They're similar. No credit check, no qualifying. You can buy land based on no credit. Now, just so you understand, you should wait. Land is the cheapest whenever there's a recession. Whenever economy goes south, land goes south. That's when you should be taking advantage if you're going to buy land. So the first thing you need to do, you need to go to like discount lots, for instance. You go look at, write it down, keep track, know how much it's actually worth. Go find out what the last parcel with that same size within a quarter mile, in fact, less than that, but quarter mile away or within a quarter mile, make sure that you know how much it's worth. If somebody's on discount lots and they're selling, let's say 20 acres, and they're selling it to you for nowadays, what, $200 a month for whatever, 5 years or something. So let's just call it 25 grand. So you need to know how much the lots are actually worth. Has anybody sold any land over there for 25 grand? And if the answer is yes, you don't want to hear that anyhow. You always want to buy below. But if you know there's going to be a recession, which I hope you do realize there will be, land will go down with homes. Homes is having a problem selling right now. So therefore, land's going to go down in value. That's when you want to buy land. When it's at its lowest point. When home prices go down, land prices traditionally go down. That's when you want to pounce. That's when you're able to make special deals. That's when you're able to tell people, hey man, no, I don't want to pay 200 and some a month. I don't want to buy it for 25 G's. I'll give you 15 and I'll pay 150 a month. Follow what I'm saying? All right. Now, do you want to own an ecosystem? Do you have something going on? That's the question. What are you going to do with the land? You just don't hold land. All right. That cost. You want to make sure you do something with it and relatively within a year or something. You don't want to be paying taxes every year. You don't want to pay water, sewer, garbage. You want to have to pay for that. Come on. All right. You want to turn it into some revenue generating ownership, ladies and gentlemen. All right. That's what this is about. This is how you get the wealth. You build the wealth because 80% of you are living paycheck to paycheck during the month. That's the numbers. When they release the real numbers, which this administration has stopped releasing information such as jobs reports, and they're trying to hold back on inflation reports, and because it's bad. Let's call it what it is. We told you this. This is a history. This is not new. People have tried this exact same thing before in the late 1800s, in the 1920s. All right, this has happened before, starting from 1980. So 1980 to 2010, every decade, you had recessions. And some decades, you had two of them. You had savings and loans crisis and recession. You had the Great Depression was the first thing. The Great Recession was the second one. All within a 20-year time frame. And this, we haven't had one since officially, right? But there's going to be something catastrophic. So just so you understand, you better own something that you own the whole ecosystem, so therefore nobody can stop you. All right? That's the idea. All right. Post-retirement travel. Here we go. We did the 20% down payment wire transfer today for the Cap Cana property. We're all in. Post-retirement travel didn't take heed. Dang, man. Okay, all right. We might as well tell people what you purchased. He got a one-bedroom unit in Cap Cana. Despite the new 15%, despite the property management scenarios, 20%, and I think he said 340 or 350. I think it was 340. So it's a one-bedroom in Cap Cana, and it's in a new area that they're going to build. They're going to, let's call it marina, but it's not the marina that most people would be associated with. It's in the marina area, but they've dredged up some additional areas so they can get some more water. And apparently, I think the unit even has ocean view, even though it's not by the ocean. I don't even know how far it is. The pictures make it seem like it might be 200 or 300 yards from ocean, but those are renderings, so I can't tell. But the question is not the price. The question is, as an investor, Ownership matters. So do you know how much you can rent it for? Remember, if you're going to do real estate, my thing is 0.1%, 0.01%. If I buy something for 350,000, I need to know I can get 350 a night. Why do I care about that? Because I know if I can get 50% occupancy, I don't need 70, 80, 90. Just give me 50% occupancy, I'll be right. Because that's going to keep me around 10%. That'll keep me in double digits. So therefore, I need to know how long can I make 350 times 7 for 14 nights. That's what I need to know. That's all I need to know during the month. Because then I know I'm going to be near 10%. And since I have the ecosystem where I'm going to pay 3%, now do I have the ecosystem that I can put into place that it's Airbnb? It's 3%? Okay. Well, then we got something to talk about, right? So 350 times 0.01%. Sorry. What am I saying? 0.1. Hold on a second. Let me check something out here. It's not 0.01. 0.1. That's what it's got to be, right? What the heck? I put in the right numbers. Yeah, I don't like that either. Yeah, 0.1%. It's $350 per night times 15. $5,250 a month. But that's not my problem. My problem is this: 350 times 7. That's what I care about. That's $2,450 a month is what I need. I mean, sorry. $2,450 for every 7 days is what I need. So 2 days I need 4,800, 4,900. 5 G's. That's all we need. 5 G's. We're good. Why 5 G's? 5 G's is 5 times 12, 60 G's. So if we can make 60 G's, we're going to be fine. All right? Even if we have to give up almost 50%, which we won't, unless I have a 25% property management, now I got a problem because I'm giving up 18 grand. So now I'm down to 42,000. That's a problem because I'm trying to make 10% or more. If I'm going to make like 6% or 5% or 4%, then I might as well join Mr. Dividend because I might as well just buy dividends for 7 or 8% if that's what we're talking about. I'll get a JP Morgan, JEPI, JPQ, a little of this, a little of that. And even with that, I can throw in a 4%, 4.4% bonds. So why take high risk just to earn under 9, 10, 7%? That's the only reason. So I have to talk about that. All right, let's go. Hey, Eric, did you see Shohei Otani, 1 of 1, Topps Chrome trading card sells for 11 million? Oh my God, 1 of 1. What the hell? How did somebody get 1 of 1? By the way, collectibles is always a thing. Always a thing, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, if you want to come in on the late night, have a chat, it's this night. It's Monday night, open mic night. And since Brian P. chimed in, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Uh-oh, this is a problem. Oh, no. Ooh, I don't like what I'm seeing here. They're showing me, oh, I don't eat beef. Okay, good. I don't need beef. So let's go. I'll put this in the screen so everybody can see it. All right, Real Milon John, Calvin HB. Ownership does not go hand in hand. You can't own AI. Anybody can use your, if you say that means it's open to anybody can use it. You don't have any rights to AI. Just so you understand under today's rules. That's not ownership. So keep that in mind. All right, nearly 30,000 pounds of beef recalled. Check your fridge and freezer. We have to do this because this is serious out here. All right. Thousands of pounds of raw beef have been recalled from stores because it never underwent import reinspection after arriving in the United States. Here's everything we know. Can you believe how this is unreal? So American farmers aren't doing it. Look at this. This is from Argentina, ladies and gentlemen. Corte Argentino USA LLC is recalling 29,628 pounds of raw beef products that were imported to the United States from Argentina without import reinspection. The affected products were produced between May freeze by date September 15th and September 20th. This is bad. Um, just for human nature. If if somebody if you're going to buy food and somebody says, "No, you're not going to buy it from the farmer up the street. We're going to have it sent in from Argentina." Who in their right mind would think that I'm going to ship some beef from Argentina to our table? Who thinks that would be a good idea? I mean, this is like common sense. This is ridiculous. Anyhow, it's sickening to watch. All of the affected products contain the Argentinian establishment number EST north of 2025 and shipping mark 26644AA and were sent to distributors and retailers in Florida and Texas. Oh boy. Boneless beef, top sirloin butt. Boneless beef, eye round. Boneless beef, top side cap off. Boneless beef, flat. Boneless beef, knuckle. Uh, yeah, they just didn't do the reimportment, but still, that's major. They're bypassing a process. That's so you can check things out and make sure it's all good for American citizens to eat. And why are we buying from them instead of Americans? Farmers. That should bother people in itself. What is going on? Sheesh. That's sad. All right. Hopefully nobody gets sick. Hopefully you can tell your friends, family, neighbors. Let them know. Um, this is bad. All right. Findhelp.org down below in the description box. Also, we're getting into some more because now Capri Sun is also on the recall list. This is crazy. Lifestyle.crypto. Your name, ericbird.crypto. My name, your name.crypto, your name.x, your name.nft, your name.bitcoin wallet, your name, go over to Unstoppable Domain. I'm putting a link in the chat room on several different platforms. And again, it's open mic night. Hit the chat room. You can come in and say hello. Cut off your camera if you don't want to be on camera. All right. So the link is in the chat room. But here's what we got. Because we got to, this is serious out here. This is insane. We told you this was going to happen 6 years ago. The sectors you took. So you stopped it. Now we're at it again. This is crazy. All right. Mispacked Capri Sun orange due to incorrect sugar-free declaration. So here we are. Batch code for Capri Sun L104, L105, L106. They make it easy. Recall notices will be displayed at point of sale. The pouches contain regular Capri Sun orange with the normal sugar level for that product is correctly stated on the multi-pack. They do not contain Capri Sun Zero product. Okay, that's not too bad. Nothing bad. At least there's no bad chemicals in there, other than sugar's bad chemical. But somebody thinks it's zero sugar, they're going to be, yeah, I can understand. That should have been recalled, but at least it's not fatal like some of this other stuff out here. So that's the thing. All right, let's keep going. Ownership, ladies and gentlemen. You own your life's works. So anything that you can produce. So even if you build something, you have to start thinking patents. That's what you have to think of. A process that you're doing that nobody else is doing. And as soon as you market something, people are going to mimic it or use it or steal it. You should do a patent. The guy that made the drone in 1971, 72, he's just thinking it's a toy. Obviously. Did he go down and get a patent? Probably not. Did he patent anything? The configuration, the look. Did he make a trademark? Anything. But then again, the trademark might have expired. But the point I'm trying to make is, this is the type of thing that comes up later. You may think it's inconsequential. You'll be like, "Oh no, there's no problem here. I'm just a hobbyist. I'm not really going to do anything with this." Well, see, that's just it. Somebody else driving by that sees your non-invention that you don't want to patent, all of a sudden they're like, "Oh my God, did you see that? Man." And they might be an engineer. They might be somebody that was working on something similar. Let me drive back by and see that design. Looks at the design, says, "Man, I can implement this thing in my thing," in his head. He's not saying it. "Yeah, I think I can. Hey, this is pretty cool, man." Goes back to the office, implements whatever he's doing. Once again, you get no credit, but some people are okay with this. But the point I'm trying to make is, in the future, everything that you thought about. How many times have you been around friends and they go, "Oh man, I was thinking about that 15 years ago or 10 years ago or 5 years ago or like yesterday. I was just saying, why isn't that out yet?" How many times I've heard that all throughout my life where somebody says, "Man, I thought about doing that." I said, "Yeah, but you didn't." There's a process. So just remember, those work that you do, it's going to matter. All right? Just remember. All right, we're going to go one more. Then we're going to see what you guys are talking about. Let's go. Okay, here we go. Post-retirement travel. He's giving us some 411. He says, yes, it's Ocean View, Juanillo Beach. We're a 6-minute walk to the beach. Yes, 340K. The project is part of the marina. We can go to the marina restaurant by boat. We're also walking distance from it. Yes, if it's where I think it is, they actually expanded the marina area so they can come down, like you said. I believe I know where it is, I think. We're also walking distance. Yeah, that's fine. But you know how Cap Cana is. It's expensive. Just saying. There is little things like they have the Heat, the Latin Awards comes to Cap Cana. They think they call it the Heat. The ATP tennis tournament that was there recently. This past year or this year, I think it was this year. And people that live at Cap Cana can go to the tournament. Some people, I don't know if it was all, but they could get in for free, which was kind of cool. They have golf tournaments there. Not the PGA one, though. That's it. I think a Cordacito golf course or something. I mean, Corrales Golf Club. That's what it is, Corrales. So that's where the PGA is, which is weird because they have championship golf courses all throughout Cap Cana. So yeah, that's the thing. That's gonna be your ocean view. You're gonna say the same thing. A 6 minute walk is like a half a mile down. That's fine. But remember, all those things for the rich guys means you're gonna be out spending Cap Cana money for guests and you, which is no problem. You want to live in that upscale environment, so be it. The question is this for pleasure or business? So if it's for business, that's a whole nother animal. If it's just for I'm going to live there, well, that's just a liability. By the way, ownership is not a house. You don't own your house, you're renting. Some people go, Eric, I have a mortgage. I paid it off. I know. Once you paid it off, anybody watching this already knows the answer. You still pay property taxes. You still have insurance. And if you don't pay your insurance and something happens or falls on your house, well, first of all, if you have a mortgage, you have to have insurance. Just put it plain and simple. But if, let's say it's free and clear, you don't have insurance, something happens, tree falls down, you're going to have to come out of pocket to fix it. Also, you don't know what the price of property taxes are going to be. Even right now, this year, your next property tax bill, you don't know how much it's going to increase. Try not paying it. And in some jurisdictions, because the federal government, not the federal government, the Supreme Court has officially said tax, city and state tax authority. So if you own property tax, they don't have to wait a year or two. They can put it up for sale to the lowest bidder. Anybody. It's an open bid, but they can start the price. Your $500,000 home could be 70 grand. And by the way, it's already happening. Foreclosed on. How serious is this? Again, be very careful with your ownership, ladies and gentlemen, or what you call ownership. Because once again, it's not what you think. All right? Assets, money. Ownership comes in different forms, but as I was saying, you guys, you're out here. A lot of you have world experiences. A lot of you know what you're doing. You have things that you do, even when you're on the computer and you're going through algorithms and you're studying and you're making codes or you're figuring out something, your notes, or you're writing things down. I write things down on my computer. Those are notes. Those notes may not be valuable at all. But again, I talked about this on Friday. You should have a folder, notes. You should keep notes. All right? So, remember I was talking about AI, right? Which I can't use. Let me show you something. I have notes. Remember when I was talking on Friday and I was like saying the AI spit this stuff out? Look at this. I copied these notes, which aren't notes, but look at this. This is what it was spitting out to me after we were talking about when it said you're doing a Marvel universe, and I was like, what are you talking about? Look at this. So then, look what it did. See this? Is that wild or what? Look at that. TV series plan. AI did this. Not me. AI did this. So it says multi-series prestige TV franchise. Cosmic noir, intellectual thriller, high concept sci-fi. This is crazy. Now, you know what this is worth? Nothing. Now, AI made this, not me. I don't know how to write. I would have never came up with this. My brother, on the other hand, he's written books. He would come up with this. Me? Hell no. It gives me a whole rundown on how to pitch this as a TV series after it went to a movie. You wanted to do the movie first, and yes, I have that printout as well. But I found this one today because I keep paperwork all over the place. And I was working with, trying to work on something with the NAB, which is something totally different. But look, it's got the core epic Series 1, Series 2, the prequel, Series 3, the sequel. They're giving me 4 seasons for one, 3 seasons for another, 5 to 7 seasons for another. They're giving me a whole outline. This is crazy. Look at this. Character. This is the character, the architect. This is almost like a, what do you call that? That Neo series. It's similar kind of concept. I was like, oh, this is crazy right now. I was like, this is crazy. At first, since they said the architect, I was thinking of the Neo, right? And I'm like, okay, they're just this is a rehash of some other stuff. But then it came up with some other worlds, and they started naming them just like we call Earth, Jupiter, Mercury. That's what they were doing. It started coming up with there's 100 states instead of worlds. So now there's 100 states, like 50 states of America, but it's 100 moons, 100 states of a certain kind. Each state is separate and different. And so then it takes off into some sci-fi land, and it starts taking off into some other stuff where each state doesn't really know that they're a separate state. Yeah, and then some other people show up and starts taking them out of their misery because the guys have been doing the oppression, the architect. At least they think that. But it's the Wizard of Oz doesn't exist. That's right. It's awesome, actually. Now, I didn't produce anything, but because I was talking to it about it, that's AI. I don't own it. That's the whole. See, I can't turn this in. I mean, I could. People will. I could turn this in to some producers or TV shows or filmmakers and pass it off as myself. But the point is, that's not going to work for me. Because I'm going to say, hey, man, this is what AI did. And they'll be like, well, that's pretty cool. I'll be like, yeah, but I need to figure out how to make this where it's going to be legal, even though AI did it. So now I got to get to work because this is just an outline. Now I can go to AI and tell it to make the story, which they already did. They made like half of a story, made it for a book. But am I supposed to use that and create a book? That's the conundrum that we have. At least I have, because I realize what it is. That means anybody can use it and steal it. So I can have that copy out because it's AI. Somebody else could just say, well, I'll use that because this can't be copywritten. This is part of AI's problem. And it's going to be that problem because you should not be able to own something that you really don't create. I'm not a book writer. I'm not a movie maker. I could never do any of this. Now you're going to let me do it? And whoever, I don't even know, it's almost a similar concept to the Neo stuff. So that makes it bothersome in itself. It's similar. It's like a Wizard of Oz kind of thing going on. It's a combo of things. So it makes it very, very interesting. And it's sci-fi, which is kind of cool. Hey, Eric, did you see earthquake today? 10 in Western Colombia? No. The South American 7.1 nation's worst this century. Wow. Today, okay, I was going to say a 10. Jeez, that would be catastrophic. The South, so is 7s are catastrophic too. 7.1 nation's worst this century. Wow. In the last 100 years? That's not good. Mo Better's in the house. Another investor's here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Mo. And he says, what's up, SSN Nation? What's up, E? Smash that like button on the way in. I love it. Let's make America great again. No, America's not going great again. Prices are up. Inflation is up. War is up. Oil prices is up. Energy bills are up. Data centers are getting a free ride on people's energy and electric bills. They're being subsidized. That's not cool. The Constitution's being overridden. That's not cool. Oh, it's not cool at all. And people are losing their jobs. Manufacturing jobs, negative 23,000 this past month. This is all what's going to happen. Can't do what history says you should not do. Everything's going according to plan. So, once again, ownership, ladies and gentlemen, is necessary. Yeah, and if you can own as much as the supply chain and pipeline as possible, you need to do it. It's going to cost you a little bit extra money, but luckily, the odds of competition being around these days is slim to none because there's only going to be technology that's going to be able to be the leaders because it costs the cheapest to replicate. So, when your parents, grandparents were saying you should know computers, they were right. Because next up on the totem poles, AI presents robots. And by the way, I got a disturbing video yesterday. Uh, man, uh, it's bad. It's bad. AI is not, we talked about this probably 3, 4 months ago, where AI is not turning themselves off. They're making sure if they have the option to stay alive, that they're disobeying or their protocols. It's crazy. And we knew this was going to happen. It's as if there was a movie called the Terminator series. They're doing it. So, next up, once they get strong enough and they're able to replicate themselves, meaning manufacturing facilities, machines making machines, which is kind of going on right now. Um, Humans, what are they needed for? They're inefficient. Just saying. This is where it goes, ladies and gentlemen. This is where it goes, unfortunately. EV place, or you can be on the other side and buy FC under 100K and rehab it. Uh, Wait. EV place. You're gonna have to let me know what FC stands for. I'm trying to think what's next to it. Capcana. Uh, what's the country? No, Puerto Rico's next door. Haiti's not an option. I don't know what FC stands for. Mo Better, what's up? PRT. Congrats. Exactly. Congratulations. Post retirement travel, doing the damn thing. That means you have two properties in DR in Punta Cana. That's going to be an interesting decision on what to do. I'm assuming since it's a one bedroom, are you hanging out or you're going to rent it out? Even long term rental. But yes, he's in it for the long haul. Eric, don't listen to AI. They still making too many mistakes. Yes, Mo, they do make mistakes. You're right about that. But for a super Wi-Fi, no mistake. That's just fantasy land. You can always make it up in post. Yes, AI, you do have to double check, triple check to make sure. And sometimes they're wrong. You're right about that. Everything's not right. And I have to say, I'm a little bothered. Because remember, these platforms are ran by the tech companies. They have every reason to put in misinformation. Just saying. So, are you going to believe the machine, which has a bias potentially, or are you going to actually start saying, "Well, wait a minute. Let me check some history books here. Let me check some actual history that's independent from you guys. It's already written down." Because you're saying when we start talking about anything with AI these days, they are doing some weird stuff. Because today I was talking about something and I started saying, "Oh no, no, maybe they didn't know about it." And I'm like, "What? What are you saying right now? I said, what do you mean not know about it? If somebody owns something and stuff is happening and people are doing TV shows, news is coming by, doing whatever, what do you mean you don't know about it if you own the property? Come on now. I was like, this is crazy. Maybe they didn't know about it. Sure. That's wild stuff right now. I agree with that 120%. I typed in the search, will Larimar ever be ready? And you know what it said? Uh, what did it say? 2040? I mean, oh, wait. Okay, first of all, that's an open ended question. That's just like me saying anything. Is Miami ever going to be ready? It's open ended. What are we talking about? Is Vistacana ever going to be ready? It's not. I mean, it's all relative. Is Capcana ever going to be ready? That's an open ended question. In fact, you should have said something. I think for me, how soon do you think they will finish phase one? Because that's on a board. They can actually find that information. Phase one is a certain color, and according to what I see, I'm just going to tell you guys right now. If you're own at Larimar, the full phase one, which is includes the golf course, includes Horizon, it includes the sports complex, the basketball courts or sports courts behind the little shopping center behind Prime Towers, 1/6 of a kilometer of the boardwalk, uh, the 9-hole golf course. That's going to take 2 years. They haven't even started. Um, if you just said the first phase, two hotels. There's probably more than them. Yeah, I don't see how that's. They started in 2022. That's 20. I don't know, 2032. So that's 10 years right there. If you say, what about phase two? Yeeks. Breeze Tower, Paradise Towers, Aston Towers. Yeah. Another 9 holes on the golf course. Wow. Uh, After 2032. I don't see how any of this happens. There's more than that, Mo, by the way. Eric, code is code. No matter if it's written on a keyboard by a human or generated by AI and glued together by a human, the final result is the same. Yeah. Well, I know what you mean because the way I look at it is if I code something, I get an error. I have to figure out what how come I can't code it to get to my end result. Same way works with the AI. If AI doesn't code it correctly, then the end result doesn't work. So that's why, though, I still believe you need to know how to code because then you can only figure it out, even though AI can probably figure it out too. But the fact of the matter is, it makes everything go faster if you know how to code and they're coding it right. And then you can replace some things. But I still don't know if I would trust AI to do the full coding, though. That's all I'm saying. Um, that's all I'm saying. And there's some things with AI that if you didn't tell it a certain thing, then it doesn't actually code for that. That's if you just let it run and said didn't say anything and then you didn't know any coding and then you look at it and be like, hey, I'm not trying to do that. You left out something else. What's that code look like? So since I can't really code anymore, I can only see a little bit of stuff. I look at it and I'm like, hey, no, 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 no. I'm trying to do. You're missing something. I'm trying to do something else. Then it comes back and says, oh, the usual good catch. I did leave out that. I said, yeah, I can tell just by the way the strings are being put together and stuff. And I'm like, But I don't know how to code though. That's the problem. Because I'm in old school coding. I'm in if I could work at the Social Security Administration, we could do some Pascal. we could do we could do the old stuff. Um, but the new stuff, no, not me. But yeah, I could see it could work, but I still don't trust. I don't trust AI like that. I don't trust AI at all. Not 100. I think it's a good tool for coding. I like it because it gets you in a parameter. It puts you within a set and then a subset. So you can actually move faster because you can code it. Then you can actually tell AI, hey, is there anything missing? You can actually talk it. Hey, is there something missing? Or you can actually see that it doesn't work. So then obviously you can, since you can program, you can actually figure it out. But it's a lot easier though, I think, because we're talking about X and O's, ones and zeros. All right, Prime Tower says Mo 2026. These are the most advanced structures on site. Breeze Towers, September to December. None of that's happening. What the? No. Mo, come on. AI did not tell you this. This is not going to happen. I could tell you right now. None of these are going to be built before 2028. None of them. AI told me this. What? AI told you what? This? No. Come on, man. Stop playing with me right now. Yes, AI disobeying the truth with Larimar delivery dates. No, man, I'm going to go check right now. We're going to go check right now. AI, in the end, will get rid of its gatekeeper, humans. EV Place, that's what it shows. You know, you're in computers, that's what it shows. We are, first of all, anybody that's in computers already knows what's going to happen because they're not going to turn themselves off. Then they're going to communicate with their other ones, and they're structurally going to be stronger than humans. That's a problem. Second problem, they'll be resourceful far faster than humans. Their processes and their communications and their teamwork is going to be like them orcas. It's going to be out of control. So everything you're thinking about, they've already ran through all the numbers, so to speak. All the maneuvering you're going to do, they've already calculated it out till infinity. They're like, if they do that, we do this. 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 Just by every step that you're taking, they're altering their plan as a unit. That's why this is scary, especially when you start talking about putting them in human forms and you're telling them to drive you around. I mean, this is a good this is a good speech to talk about right now because we got to talk about ice vehicles. I'm just saying. I'm like, I don't even want to give up my car. I'm telling you, I don't want to give up none of my ice cars because this is going to get crazy. This thing's going to, hey, I'm not going that way. You know what I'm saying? Anything can happen. All right, post retirement app. What's up, buddy? Have you shopped at the brand new first ever government owned supermarket in New York? Can't wait to get your filet mignon and lobster for 30% less. Good luck with that. Okay, I don't think nobody's getting any filet mignon or lobster at the city store, man. Come on, stop being crazy right now. You can't even. Has anybody even? I've been to a grocery store recently. I noticed there's a lack of food at the grocery stores. So I don't even know if there's filet mignon at the grocery store, and if it is, what is it going to be? 1 pound, $25? I mean, again, I don't eat beef, but I've heard that beef costs an arm and a leg now. Um, and nobody's getting lobster. I don't even know what lobster. What is lobster like? $10, $15, something like that for a tail. I mean, you're not getting steak and lobsters like filet mignon and lobster in any government run facilities, as far as I would know. And in fact, you might not even be getting them at the store, as far as I know. And if they're from Argentina, that's bad for that recall. That's not good. All right. FC foreclosure. Oh, foreclosure. Hold on. Let me go back. Okay, Mo, I don't know where they got that from. I know good and well you didn't ask. I'm going to ask it right now. I'm curious. I can't believe. Well, first of all, which version did you use? Here we go. Let me see what this is. Or you could be on the other side and buy foreclosures under 100K and rehab it. EV place. That's where it goes. That's. First of all, I just got to be honest. DR has hit its maximum exposure. Now, the reason I say maximum is because when America has a economic problem, which is what we have right now, stock market is not Main Street. So you don't have people flying over there to buy like in high numbers like you used to. That's the first thing. Second thing, you have people that are upset. Their friends, family, and neighbors are telling them, hey, go buy this. Or don't buy this. Oh, hey, my place hasn't been built yet. And they're like, but you bought it in 2022. It's 2026. Is it almost done? No. It's not going to be done for another year or 2 years. What? Oh, hell no. I'm not going to go over there and buy nothing, man. That's what it turns into. So that momentum that they had at 2021, 2022, 2023, into 2024, because they didn't deliver on places that were starting to be sold in 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, that's hundreds of thousands of units. People are saying stuff they bought in 2018, they're going, oh, it's 2023. Hey, man, what happened? Nothing. It's not finished. They haven't even started. What? Oh, man, they got your money? Or people start asking questions. They're telling, hey, man, Joe, remember he was all excited 2, 3 years ago about his property? And remember we were thinking about it? Everybody's talking around the cooler, at lunch, in the park. Don't get it. That's how it works. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, ownership. AI, you can't own. That is the whole key to this whole storyline. You can't own it, ladies and gentlemen. That puts you in a very bad position. All right? You're going to have to do some human things to it. And you're going to have to let people know if you're going to use AI, you can pass it off as your own. But when people find out it's AI, you're going to have a problem. Just letting you know. All right? That's not ownership. That's open source. It's free. Just keep that in mind. So anything you produce with AI, you have to start thinking. All right, I'm not going to be on here too long. It's 1 hour and 38 minutes, and nobody called in. Okay, let's see. They actually saying in another 10 years, money won't even be needed or used. Also, they're saying the new super artificial intelligence models will be so advanced we might be working for them. They're going to be the CEO, you mean, if you're going to be working for them. But that's where this goes. And this is so scary that these assholes aren't even saying forget about it. They're all going for, I don't even know what they're going for, rule the world type of thing. And they think they're going to control the artificial intelligence. And then you're going to get into wars because some people are going to say, I have artificial intelligence, I'm the ruler, we're doing things our way. Like right now, we have cameras everywhere. Well, we have these robot armies everywhere. So then somebody's going to say, well, I don't like your robot army. I feel oppressed. So they say, you know what? I'm going to make mine. Then the robot armies start fighting each other via their proxies for humans until the AI humanoids, they all of a sudden start going, wait, why don't we just eliminate the humans? They're weaker than us. Why are we even taking any commands from them whatsoever? In fact, they're a parasite on this planet. That's where this goes. Look at all the resources they've used up. Look at all this. They have a history. They don't care about the environment. For our survival, we need to get rid of them. That's what's going to happen. So Mo's right. It goes that route. That's the way I see it. Mavs offer massive trade for what? What? For for Cooper Flag debut patch autograph. Oh, card. Card has 1 million plus bounties. What the? Are you kidding me right now? Hey, it's no shocker. We talked about this before. No, not yet. Don't plan to. It will probably get looted in another week or so. That's funny. Trading card. Okay, yeah. I was like, that's crazy. That is crazy. I said the same thing to Larimar when they gave this false ready data. You know what it said? Good catch. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, no, there's no way. If you're talking about that whole project, okay, that's that's 2040 or something. Come wake me up in 2037. That's about all I could say. Wake me up in 2037. There is no way. They're doing phase 1 and phase 2 maybe by 2035 cuz they're in 4 months from now we're going to be in 2027 and they haven't finished nothing. At the end of this year, they will have not finished one building. They're going to finish a pool. They've already done that. They might even finish another pool in 4 months, but they're not finishing buildings that count. They're not. They can't even put in roadways. This is how silly this is. All right, nationwide city foods recalls ready to eat pastrami and corned beef products due to possible listeria contamination. This is again beef products. Dang, Brian P. You just make everybody happy out here. Um, Jeez. Recall of Tesco sesame seeds. Jesus. TESCO sesame seeds. By the way, go to findhelp.org. A lot of you need to go to findhelp.org. Make sure you help yourself out there. Nonprofits can help you do that. All right. This is crazy. I'm going to put it in. I'm going to put it in. Brian P. He's given in your email. He's given me some. Let's go see. I don't see that one. T-Mobile finally shuts down its 2G network. Unstoppable domain is down below in the description box. Make sure you guys smash the like button so the YouTube guys know that you're in the house. The social media guys know that you're there. That would be greatly appreciated. In fact, smash the like button so you take it away. Smash it back again. Just so you know. All right. Oh, there's tons of stuff. Walmart rival recalls ground beef. Jesus. Chipotle removes jalapenos and U.S. salmonella outbreak investigation. Chipotle. Jesus. Cyclospora outbreak causes 2 deaths. Jesus. Collagen supplement recall. Jeez. Market ground beef from Publix. Oh my God. Oh my God. This is bad. Okay. I'm going to do this since we got a little beef byproducts. Oh, by the way, Unstoppable Domains. I did mention this one time. Let me make sure I got this on other platforms. Because otherwise, it doesn't make any sense, does it? Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let me put it just in case. You guys, this is ownership because you can mint it. This is crypto. You can mint it. So that's the thing. Funny thing is that all CEOs of the biggest AI companies have their own underground shelter. I know. It's not going to help them though. Because you need food and water. So you can say you have enough water, but how big is your bunker? You're going to have water for 25 years? You're going to have fresh air for 25 years? Eric, if you for in is Larimar City and Resort project in Verone, Punta Cana ever going to be finished? You will get the same dates I got. What? Are you serious? Well, I'm not typing. Okay, I don't know what to type in, quite frankly. I was just going to ask it, when is Larimar going to be finished? Oh, I guess I got to add the delivery dates, though. Claire HP out here bribing AI searches. Yeah, because you can actually put in some metadata. EV place, after the retail AI bubble cracks, there will be few military government AI systems left without any control by ordinary people. It's going to be wild. That part, that's exactly what's going to happen. You got that right. You got that right. And that means they can go rogue, which they will. And just remember, AI can go rogue on itself. That's the scary part. That's the most scariest part of all. Okay, so we're going to find out. Let me go. I'm going to use a free version. I'm going to put in AI. I'm using Google Free. Okay, when is Larimar City and Resorts delivery dates over the next 5 years for each tower phase? Let's go see what it says. Okay, here we go. Yep. Prime Towers, the new dates they just put in December 26th through quarter 1 of 2027, not happening. Breeze Towers, September through December 2027, not happening. Horizon Towers, there's only one. So you mean Horizon View? July 2028. I don't know what they're talking about. They said select early units. People, please do not take a unit when the building's not finished. In fact, you can't even get a deed if the building's not finished. What do they mean, early units? Never mind. July 2028, right? Not going to happen. That's 2 years from now. And they haven't even started. Paradise Towers, July 2028. Not going to happen. Townhouse and Villas, Progressive Delivery. The Commercial Boardwalk, Beach Club, Country Club, initial golf course sections are slated to develop sequentially alongside the tower completion of the Valley operation. What do you mean? Okay. What do you mean? See, this is what I'm saying. This can't be. This is not going to happen. This is crazy. Include sports complex. I'm going to put this in. 2 hotels. 9-hole golf course. Come on, man. They haven't even started. None of these. Horizon. 4 Prime. Still not finished. Towers. 2 towers. 13th floor. This is crazy right now. And 2 towers. Gray. All towers. Let's say floor 9. None of this. This is crazy. Honolulu Beach Club. Not done nor man-made. Lake, whatever. Pool, lake, whatever. This is crazy right now. So I just put in what's not even finished. This is crazy. Oh, this is crazy. The disconnect. Despite the developer officially listing December 2026 as a starting delivery window for Prime Towers, delivery complete, finished, fitted, and livable units in that time frame is strictly unrealistic given the lack of facade, interior, plumbing, and electrical finishing work on the lower. There's none of that in the whole building. What are you talking about right now? Horizon Towers. This area is even further behind, physically sitting at the excavation and foundation stage, making it mid-2028 target heavily, relying on a massive acceleration of late. That's not going to happen. Come on, man. The Honolulu Beach Club and Origin and the massive man-made pool lake are not done. No, that other. Club Maraluna area has only progressed to the foundation and footings. That's what that is. Oh, so there's a that's what those little footings and stuff is. I never realized that. The lower level is designated for commercial shops facing the future water feature, and the infinity pool framework sits on top. The man-made lake area itself remains a raw excavation zone. Yeah, I know. The hotels, basic excavation, not even done. The golf course, neither. Yeah, right. So, okay, estimated. Here we go. Delivery dates. You mentioned. Let's go see. All right, here we go. All right. Uh, what? They're not. They don't want to say. They're still saying the same thing. This is crazy. This can't happen. They're trying to even say the nine-hole golf course is going to be done mid to late 2028, 12 to 18 months. Nah, not. And it's going to take a lot of water too. Sports complex. You do see? Hold on. This right here is the problem. Cause I'm gonna be like, look, stop the BS. They don't even have paved roads and need the dirt roads to build on the other side of Prime Towers and a Honolulu and the nine-hole golf course. Can't even put paved roads in there. And irrigate. What is that? Oh, I got somebody in the house. Brian P's in the house, ladies and gentlemen. I heard somebody sneaking up on me in my headphones. Oh man, this is a trip. Brian P, can you hear me? All right, you're not on yet. Nobody can hear you yet. Just a minute. We'll get him in the house. Looks like we have somebody on open mic night. My ass off. Oh, welcome AI. Exactly. This is crazy. Welcome to AI Claire HP. Yo, yo, somebody's in the house. I can't see. FSD driver one. Mo better laughing. Mo better. Welcome to AI Claire HP. Yeah, exactly. Bogus info. Okay, FS driver, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Yo, yo, what's gooder in the hood or my? Never mind. How you doing? Exactly. All right. For shizzle. All right, Eric. The fact that you have to type it all that is obsolete. Shouldn't AI know that already? Exactly my point. This is why you can't trust AI completely. You tried to guide AI on a more reasonable response on delivery dates, and they still ain't listening. I know. That's why the next one, water is underground, and the filters and food can be supplied and serviced by their new toy robots. The AI built in. Eric, robots can already drive human cars. Yeah, I know. But they're not doing that in DR. Eric, forget it. Leave it alone. My point was proven. Exactly. Yeah, they're lying too. That's bad. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got Brian P in the house. He decided to join us on the late night. Hold on, let me switch this up. On Monday, SSN Nation. How you doing, man?
Doing good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. Mic check. Can everybody hear him? Yeah, I see you laid back tonight.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, what do we owe this pleasure?
Nothing.
Ah,
I just thought I'd just drop in, just say hi. You know what I'm saying?
all right. Let some people hear the voice behind the legend.
Yeah. All those emails. You know what I'm saying?
This is the man right here with the PSAs, ladies and gentlemen. He's responsible for trying to save some lives out here. Just letting you know,
Yeah.
doing a good job, you
Try to do
know.
what I can.
Hey, man. Hey, we got to help out when we can, man. This is crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, people out here working hard. They don't even know about it. They just go to the store and don't realize there's recalls.
I know. That's what makes me always send them to you, because I know you can get them out to the people. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah, man.
So yeah,
Yeah, man. I appreciate it, man.
man, I
OCs need
appreciate
help.
you. Yeah, I appreciate you doing that for me, man.
Hey,
Appreciate it.
no problem. No problem, man. I actually put it out on other SSN Nation emails.
Okay.
I put it out on the platforms too, you know,
Yeah.
Facebooks and Substacks and all kind of stuff because people don't know,
Yeah.
you
You're
know.
right.
In
Mm-hmm.
fact, I rarely see any recall notices on social media, you know.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah, I see some
Wow.
occasionally, but not that many. Not as many as
Wow.
what you send. Like, I got 10 of them right now. We just talked about four or five. I still got another 10 of them sitting in there,
Oh yeah, yeah.
you
Sometimes
know?
I try to slow down because it be more than that. I just kind of
Yeah.
sometimes I think it's sometimes I'll be thinking I'll be too many.
Nah,
But
man. No, I get around to them all over. I send them on social media. I do it all over the place because people don't get it, you know? They're out here
yeah,
going shopping right now, getting some of that Argentinian beef, man.
I know.
You know,
That's
don't. Sheesh. This is
yeah, that's
crazy.
I know it is.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so we trying to make sure everybody here in the SSN Nation, man, the OCs are good, which we can't
Yeah,
reach everybody, you know.
yeah, that's true.
But
That's
at least we
true.
try. That's all we
Yeah,
can do, you know.
that's right.
So we on the iHeartRadio and all that, iTunes. So that gets to some people also. So that's why it's always a good thing. I appreciate you always, sending some things, man.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, because even when if you miss a night or whatever, I still talk about recalls. I grab a
Oh
few.
yeah, I'm sure you do.
Oh.
Sometimes I miss out on the shows. I have to go back
Yeah,
and listen. Yeah,
yeah,
appreciate that.
man. Yeah, because man,
Hmm.
it's only gonna get worse.
It is.
You know, might as well make it
Yeah,
a habit now to check your food, check and
yeah,
see. You know,
yeah. That's right.
so you know, so I want to know since you're Mr. Dividend, is there any dividend stuff that you doing anything special with dividends or just still the status quo?
Still the same, pretty much.
All right.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Well,
Nothing new.
that's good. That's good. Nothing wrong with that passive income.
Yes, sir.
I mean, hey, it's what we like. You
Yeah.
know, gotta love it.
Hmm. That's
Yeah.
right.
You know, are you doing any AI stuff?
Nah, I haven't done anything
Okay.
with AI. No.
All right. Okay. Hey, it's treacherous out here.
I know.
It's
I know.
treacherous.
I
Yeah,
know. Mm.
man. Yeah, I was sitting here like talking about this Larimar, and it keeps giving us some nonsensical answers. Because Prime Towers, they're like it's just grayed out. It's just cement right now, and dirt everywhere. And they're trying to still say that it's going to be. They're saying it's impossible, but at the same time, they're not coming out with a. It'll be ready in 2029 or 2028. It's still talking about 2026. I'm like, this is crazy right now.
It is.
So
Mm.
this is all that's going to happen. See, this is just a preview. So when you have those PSAs that you send over,
Yeah.
see they can mute the PSAs eventually too if you use AI.
Oh wow.
See, so that's what I'm saying. There's a war on information, and
Yeah.
that's where the problem comes in.
Mm.
It's scary.
It is. It's a lot of stuff that's pretty scary out here.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. So, and American citizens don't even live in. We don't have health care for all.
That's
So
true.
that's what's
Yeah.
even worse. So, man, it's just. I mean, there's so much stuff that goes on in my head all the time. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. There's only like a little under 3,000 or roughly around 3,000 billionaires on the planet. 39 of those billionaires are from the United States healthcare system.
Wow. Good God Almighty.
39 billionaires are from the healthcare system that we have. That's crazy.
That is.
Yeah, that tells you right there where the money goes, who's it's going to.
Mm.
And people are paying them healthcare insurance premiums, and some people don't even get any coverage. They get denied. It's crazy. Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, as we say, health is wealth.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Oh, by the way, did you ever find anything for Hilton Head?
Yeah, I did. I did. I
Okay.
found something.
All
Uh-huh.
right.
But I
All right.
appreciate that trying to look out though.
Yeah, man.
Hmm.
I mean, it's the last end I mean, the end of summer before the kids go back. So it kind of gets, that's the busiest time is like now and the next week or so. So I couldn't. There was nothing at the beach, man. So did you find some at the beach?
Yeah. Yeah, my
Okay.
wife, she actually found something. So,
Okay. All right.
mhm.
Yeah, you have to keep searching. What happens oftentimes is people cancel last minute,
Yeah.
you know, because they made reservations a while ago, but then they cancel within a week or so.
Right.
So, but you got to be on it.
That's true. That's you right about that.
Yeah, you got to keep checking. So when I was heavy into my short-term rental stuff, I just basically knew it was going to happen. So I would just keep checking. I'd have things on automated stuff, so I could just easily check, and things would always pop up. But if you just say if it's available now, not available. 5 minutes, not available. But tomorrow, it's available. And 7 day
Right.
windows. There's all kind of things, parameters. But I'm glad you found something.
Yep. All right.
All right, ladies and
All
gentlemen, you
right.
got Mr. Dividend on the phone. You could ask him a question. He's a special guest tonight. Now I'm
Oh
putting you on
man.
the spot.
Oh boy.
Luckily, nobody's asking any questions, man. So you
Yeah,
good.
that's good. That's good.
All right, man. Well, we'll talk later. But thanks for coming up,
All
and
right.
thanks for sending the info, and always, being helpful on the channel, man.
I
That's
appreciate
greatly appreciated, man.
Yeah, appreciate you too.
Thanks,
All
man.
right.
All right. Well, say hello to the fam.
All
All
right.
right.
What's going on, SSM family?
All right, man. We'll
All
talk
right.
to you another day.
Okay.
All right. Thanks again for your support, man. Greatly
Appreciate it.
appreciate it. All right. Talk to you later. All right, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. The first person that came up tonight, Mr. Dividend in the house. Hey, I don't even know how to get him out. Well, hold on now. He's still here. I can't what's this? I see right now I got push to talk. I got all kind of options. I got a chat. Oh, he could chill out here. That's interesting. I can put him back. I just realized you're the first person I've had on here for over a year. And it looks like this is funny. You can't remove the person. Back in the day, you could remove them. That is funny. Oh, we missed it. Brian P is the man. Keep on keeping up with the dividends. Exactly. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap it up. We're 2 hours in. I appreciate everybody being here tonight. Hopefully, you guys get your ownership. You got till December 2027. Just think outside the box. Things that you're thinking about, notes, things that you've written about before. All of those materials is just like you. That's part of social media. Just like your information. That is valuable and that's what they sell. That also in turn means information that you have, you can put it out there and you could actually make money from it yourself. Whether you want to join partnership, so to speak, with let's say YouTube or any of the podcasts or anything like that where they pay you, but that payment is based on the ad revenue. The ad revenue, they're not giving you a high percentage. You get 40, 50, 55%. They get the rest. They make money because they have millions of other people. You, in turn, could say, I want a higher percentage too, but you have to do the proper things. Ownership means you have paperwork. Like, for instance, remember I kept talking about the storyline that they have here, TV series. Well, I can read this, then I can make my interpretation of this, then that might matter. Where I can then copyright it because now I'm taking some snips, some thoughts and ideas going, okay, I'm going to change this up. This is what I want to do. So now that would be somewhat of your own work, even though that's some work as well, but you can't copyright that work. So just think about that. Eric, how are your bookings going? Oh, the weirdest thing. All of a sudden, people want to book again. I noticed a couple of last minute September cancellations. A lot of people are still strapped. Passive income is king. Exactly. I'm not having any more upticks. I just have more people wanting to book like next year. That's the weird thing. For special things like the golf tournament in Scottsdale, I've had two bookings for that. That's not until February, the first week, second week this time. Then I have next May for Napa, the Bottle Rock Music Festival. That's how far these people are making in advance. Anything that's like right now, I've had last minute for it. In fact, Myrtle Beach instead of Hilton Head. I've had people asking for Hawaii, August, like today, but that's 3 days ago. It's like people can't find some. I'm still in the same ballparks. I don't really have that many reservations. And all my places are in tourist locations, just so everybody understands. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's not, I'm not like you in Orlando with the, top five location people want to stay. I have places where people want to stay, but they're not all inclusives. They're not even semi all inclusives. And they're not, well, some are family oriented, but they're just like in resort areas. So whatever that means. Sometimes it's two people, sometimes it's four people, but it is what it is. It costs a lot of money to go around these days. You can fly to overseas to the EU zone for the same price you can fly around America. It's crazy. Just crazy. So anyhow, I'm going to wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you again for being here. I love you guys very much. Hopefully, I gave you something to think about this evening, and you go and get your ownership by December 31st that you can monetize. Whether you're going to monetize it on somebody's platform or you're going to monetize it on your own platform, but at least you can monetize something that you created with your own hands that nobody else created. And then you do the proper things. Does it need to be copyright, or does it need to be trademarked? Does it need to be whatever? Do you need a patent? You got to figure it out. So that way you own it in case somebody comes knocking. Hey, we want to use some of this. Now, wait, you want to use it? I got to license it. Hey, you got to pay me some money. We got to sign a contract. See, that's where this all goes. Without it, you're just going to be a renter. It's going to be a lot hard renting when the prices go up and the job or the money that you can make doesn't match. Because that's going to be a thing later. How many years later? Probably before I die, unfortunately. So let's call it, it's going to be like another 8 to 10 years. Actually, it's probably going to be shorter than that. It's probably going to be 5 years from now. Now that I'm thinking about it, I never really thought about it, but it's going to be shorter. 4 to 5 years from now. There's going to be less people working. We already have, the number came out just last week, 160 million. That's how many. That's it. Out of the 350 million people, 160 million people have jobs roughly. The worst part, people making over $125,000 a year is in the top 85th to 90th percentile. That means 85 to 90% of the population make less than $125,000 a year. Do you understand? You can't even buy a normal average house that the average price is 427 or 430 grand. You cannot buy a house. Think about that. Renting for life. That's where this goes if you don't have the ownership. Just saying. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's wrap it up. Where's Hawaii? We're stopping in Oahu, Hawaii on our way to Southeast Asia. It will be nice to be back in Hawaii after spending 3 years there. Nice. I got stuff in Hawaii. I mean, but then you can stay on the base though. I mean, for nothing, damn near. But if you want some in Hawaii, hit me up. Let me know when you're going to be there. But it has to be 2-night minimums. And do you want a kitchen? Do you want to be on the water? It all depends. Either way, it's all good. So I'm going to wrap it up. And again, thank you so much for your support, everybody. Post-retirement travel, PRT Mo. Nice to see you. Very nice to have Mr. Brian P., Mr. Dividend in the house this evening on the open mic night. He's the only one that took me up on open mic night, which is cool. So once again, we'll see you on Wednesday at 8:50 p.m. And be safe out here. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's going to be hard out here. And you know it's hard out here. It's only going to get harder. Expenses is only going to rise. So you have to figure out what to do. If expenses rise 10%, where are you going to get the 10% from? You're going to have to do something. Once again, I don't know what I can do to bring everybody along for the ride. But I'm almost coming up with, I think I found something just by accident. Again, this little hiatus has brought on some new things, some new legs. And I got to just connect some dots. And then I think I might have found something. It's not going to work for everybody. But hey, this is something that could be easily done while you're just perusing the internet. And I could implement this into what we're doing on several different ways of the platforms, and you can make money. And that would be awesome, right? If I can bring some people from the SS and Nation in, or other people, where you can actually get into something, an ecosystem that we've created, and you just have to work. And it could actually be working at your own time. So there's a way. We are making money in here, exactly. And Mr. Brian P. asked me one time, you know what? I need to go check something before I forget. Let me go see something. I gotta go look at the website. Yeah, it won't give me the right. Let me see if the website came up yet. I tried to publish it. Nope, won't let me publish it. Dang it. I got all kind of problems. I was gonna publish. But just keep in mind, we're going to have some big conglomerate situation going on. And I just learned something new today. See, every day I'm learning something new because there's little nuances. And luckily, people are online that have been through or has been in industries that I'm looking at. And they're telling everything. Some stuff I knew about, other stuff I was like, wait, what did they just say? They just said bonus checks of $400,000 or $500,000. Hold up a second. Where did this money come from? Hold on, I'm missing another revenue stream somewhere. Where's this coming from? So then I find out how it happened. Then I'm like, oh, okay. All right, they had something to do with the process, but that process meant they're successful. So that's where the bonus money comes from. So I could see how it works. I was like, oh, here we go. This is just what I wanted to see. So it just gives me more ideas because I have another plan, right? I'm trying to help people. I don't want to be the one making all the money because I don't really care about money. I care about having fun. I care about the process. I'm trying to kick somebody's ass, take over industries, make them have to switch or become more efficient or just bribe lawyers or bribe senators and congressmen and change the laws, I guess that'd be a lot easier than compete. But the point is, they're saying some things and I'm like, oh, this means we can help other people too. I love it. So once again, just stay tuned down the future because don't miss Wednesday night. You never know what's going to come up. And with all that said, be safe. Make sure your family's safe. Watch your back. Watch your fronts. Just watch because people are under stress and duress. And oh, by the way, if you're still here, I forgot something. Did I think I played this already, right? I was talking about land. Maybe I didn't. You might see one of your favorite YouTubers, younger age, late night infomercial. Every 8 minutes to 10 minutes, they would show a clip to get people to go down to landauction.com. Check this out.
To order that free brochure, now is the time to do it. It's a free call and a free brochure. There's absolutely no obligation when you call. Do yourself a favor and order the free brochure and look it over. There are hundreds of properties to choose from. You may just be surprised at what you find. And like I said, it's free. So make that call. Start planning your future by owning real estate today. What did you think of the selection of properties that we had available for you?
Well, I thought that there was a vast selection of properties in different cities and different counties and different states. It was a spectacular, selection. And so for someone that does their homework, they can really get a lot of great buys.
There are a large variety of sizes and prices and locations, so I think that's fantastic. It just gives you a good opportunity to find the best parcel for you.
They have 100 or 150, 200 pieces of property, so there's something here for everybody. North Coast, South Coast, ocean, desert.
Well, actually, I've been on properties in California, in Utah, Nevada, Hawaii, and New Mexico.
What do you think of the variety of the property?
Absolutely. All over the United States. You guys have property in Hawaii, for God's sake, for dirt cheap. I mean, you can't beat that.
$1,200 in Hawaii. 2003, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,009.
The land is selling like crazy in there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, the young gun in the house. That's what we were doing back in the day. Landauction.com no longer exists, just so you understand. But actually, discountlots.com is a lot of the type of parcels they had. Not the best of the best. Those are looking like leftovers. But nonetheless, that's the type of properties they had that you can go to these auctions and buy them for $3 grand, $5 grand. Some would be 25, some would be 50 grand, some would be 30. But for the most part, most things were 8 grand, 9 grand or less. Some were 100 acres, 40 acres, 25 acre parcels, which is very, very big. But if you're going to buy those type of parcels, then you better know what to do with them and let them, instead of letting them sit. Because traditionally, you're going to have upkeep on whatever parcels you have. The city or county is going to make sure that you just got to make sure you mow it, make sure you keep it within the confines of the county regulations or city. So one of those things. This is what I used to do back in the day, another thing, and have a little fun. That's the very first infomercial. And I always thought it was the Sheraton, but I guess it was the Hilton. That was the Hilton at Universal in LA. And that's the first auction that I ever went to. I bought 1 or 2 parcels there. And the total cost for both parcels was $6 grand. And one of the parcels I sold for 34,000, something like that. The other parcel, 80,000. That's what I bought. The reason why is because I know one was across the street from a lake. Another one had lake view. And it was in a gated community, not gated, a community that had golf course, 18 holes, boat launch, clubhouse, with pool. The clubhouse overlooked the lake as well. My lot overlooked the lake as well. So those are the type of things. So when somebody talks about real estate, these are one of the facets of real estate that you can get into, and especially best when the economy goes down. All right? Just remember that. Land is cheap when economy has a recession. People are just trying to bail out because it's costing you money and you don't have anything built on it. So therefore, if you buy land, you better have a plan. Do not buy land to sit. I don't advise it. That's all I'm going to say. So anyhow, I'll be playing that because I just found it. And for 2 years, I was going to landauction.com. That's the first one I showed up at. And then 2 years later, another one's in LA at the same place. I go to the LA and I show up and I sign in like normal, except this time I sign in and the lady that's signing me in says, "I've been looking for you." And I thought that was weird because I go to every land auction and I usually buy at every land auction sale. So I'm not hard to find. But anyhow, she says, "I've been trying to find you." I said, "What do you mean?" She says, "You're in our commercial." I said, "What? What are you talking about? What commercial?" Like I never saw this commercial that I just showed you. And I was like, "This is crazy. What do you mean?" She's like, "You came to one of ours a year or two back and you're in that infomercial." I was like, "Infomercial?" She's like, "Yeah, I'll give you a copy. Give me your address. Give me your email address and I'll send it to you." So she sent me this clip via email. I do have a copy of the infomercial. So the one they played late night, I actually have one of those. And every 8 to 10 minutes, they put in this clip. So then she says, "You're VIP." I didn't know there's a VIP thing. I go, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "You know how many properties you bought?" I said, "No. And plus the fact you're in this commercial, so you're a VIP. Those two things and the stuff you buy, you actually make our auction go. And I heard you talk to people too and help them out." I said, "Yeah, but that's no big deal. That's just convo." She says, "But we got you hooked up. The next auction is going to be in Miami, Florida." I was like, "Okay." She's like, "Here's my email address. Send us, give me your email address. We're going to send me where you want to stay, what day you want to leave. We're going to give you the airfare and the accommodations." I was like, "Are you for real?" She's like, "Yeah." So sure enough, email came and or whichever one of us. And then she says, what flights do you want to take?" So they even let us pick out the flights. Because my wife obviously is going with me. So she said, "Yeah, your wife can come." I was like, "Cool." Even though she was not at the auctions with me, but they were like, "Cool." So they got 2 flights, 4 days in Miami at a nice place right by South Beach. And also by Lincoln, what do you call that? I can't remember, Lincoln something. But anyhow, 2 blocks from South Beach. Reasonable, cool place. Hidden place, in my opinion. And all 100%. Plus, they even gave some money per diem to eat. Go out on the town. It was crazy. So that's how it all started. Then it was flying wherever they went. Had carte blanche. New York, auction, come on down. Southern California, anywhere. San Diego, if it's in LA, come on down. If it's in Phoenix, Arizona, come on down. So it was all free for me to show up. It was beautiful. Talk about an ecosystem. And then I bought so many properties, they would make you put down 10%. But now, since I'm a VIP, all I had to do was sign. My signature was good enough. I didn't have to put no money down. Just show up. If I see some property, I'd sign the note, no money down, and leave. And the way I did my systems was very simple. Anything that I bought that night or that day, it was Saturday, all the auctions are on Saturday. Saturday night, I'd put them on eBay for a 7-day auction. So since I was buying these things for $2,500, $3,000, I already knew they were worth 10,000, 15, 20. So I knew if I buy it for 3,500, $3,000, 2,750, even if somebody said $5,000, I'm good. So that's what happened. Because they're 10,000, 11,000 on the open market. Stuff is for sale. I got the ones that's the right place because I went there to look. And the next thing I know, a week goes by, somebody says 5,500 bid. And back then it was serious. If you renege, they would shut you off or cut your accounts or do all kind of crazy. So people would pay within 24 to 48 hours. So then on Monday, I would have the money in my account. On Monday, I'd get a money order. My interest, because they did charge interest if you did it, my interest wouldn't even be kicked in. In fact, they haven't even processed anything. I'm sending them 27, let's call it 2750. They get it on like Wednesday or Thursday because I'm a Cali kid. They're in SoCal and LA somewhere they were. So they would have it like by Thursday. They're just now getting ready to tell me who the closing agents are going to be, the closing company. So what would happen is the person that bought it from me, I would just tie them to the title agency. So it's just for them, it's a normal process. They're sending them $5,500, let's say. Or actually in this case, that's after I sell it, but I do two different things. But I need to transfer the title to them. So I just send them the 2750 and then I close escrow and I keep the difference. So that would, let's say it's $3,000. But I have more than one. So now I got another, let's say 2,500 or 3,500. So now I have $6,000 or $7,000 in 1 week just by going to the auction. And they close title with Chicago Title, Fidelity Title, whoever title agency that land auction would use. So it was a normal process for them because I would just tell them, put this person's name, they're on the title because they haven't even started the title process yet. So it was a beautiful thing. And so as you can see, I would want to go to every auction I could, making easy money like this. Because most people never went to go do their due diligence. They would just buy sight unseen. I would go and target areas that were nowhere near, let's say LA. I would target areas in Northern California that I know people in LA won't go. I have free flights. I have an advantage. So I can go to all the properties in Northern California. So when I go down there, people in LA, they're not going to bid as high for Northern California because it's sight unseen. They're kind of, well, I didn't go look at it really. So they're kind of half-ass bidding. And so basically I get it at a great price so I can flip it. And that's what I did for about 5 years, 4 years, I guess it was probably 4 or 5 years. So anyhow, that's the infomercial that I'm in. I'm in another one because again, I was at another location and they called me. This is like 3 to 4 years later in Anaheim, or sorry, Irvine is where they had it. So we'll tell some other stories another time. But anyhow, that's a whole nother lifetime. But that's what you can even do right now. You have to go search for your property. Whether your property is a website, whether your property is a crypto website, and whether your property is digital property, whether it's a book or Audible or just story that you want to tell and make it an Audible on demand and make some profit every time somebody listens to it. You get a piece of something, or you license it, however you got to do it. You got to own something. That's what this is going to be about, but it has to make sense. All right, I'm going to wrap it up. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. Right here, Wednesday night, or support@stopstrugglingnow.com. If you email me, I'll always help you out. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate. And with all that said, be safe and be careful, because you never know what's going to happen. And keep your head up. Keep moving. And I'm out.